let's get into some Dexter. So we've discussed episodes 1 through 3 so far on the podcast. Now it's time to discuss episodes 4 and 5. Thoughts on the last 2 episodes?
These are the episodes with Harrison.
So episode
spoilers.
4,
The one where he fakes.
Okay,
well, he
yeah,
not
the thing in
fakes,
school.
but
he sets
up
the
that
kid,
school
yeah.
thing where he stabs the other kid
the school shooter
in the leg. Yeah, he comes out the hero.
Yeah.
And then Dexter's like, you're not fooling me.
Yeah, he's
I'm
like, the blood
crime
doesn't-
scene detective.
The blood tells a
Had a-
different story than what you said.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like tries to talk about it with him, and Harrison's very defensive. And then he's like, "Why don't you believe me?" And
It's because like I know there's a dark passenger in you. That's why.
at the end, where
but
Dexter,
I can't formally say it like out loud to you because then it's like
yeah. So like at the end,
it's a weird
Dexter
dynamic.
Kind of like figures it out that Harrison was the one that attacked first, and then he stabbed himself to hide his actions, and then later on finds the weapon.
The knife wounds didn't match up, like the blade he said, or something like that.
Then he found that he has a straight razor, which I find interesting that he had the straight razor after the girl sends him the podcast with the Trinity killer, which is how he cut the wrists of the women.
Yeah, that's how he
Straight
slit the
razors,
wrist,
right? Yeah. And so that was interesting. And then Dexter like takes it, he holds it, he's like, "Oh, he has my dark passenger," and then it's like a little, not foreshadowing, they're literally saying it, right? It's not proven yet, but like they're kind of like implying it heavily.
Yeah.
We also see the main villain, I forget his name, Clancy Brown, but I forget his name in the show.
No, I can't remember.
Where he's like, he has his
the father?
Yeah, he has his new victim. He's like being super nice to her. He's like, she's like, "I need money." He's like, "I already given you money." She's like, "Come on, I promise this will be the last time," because she wants to get out of town. He's like, "Well, I'll tell you what, you can work, or like I have a place for you to stay." And then he takes her to his like kill site, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has this ritual where he locks him in a room in the basement, and then like they notice the camera, and then under the camera says "You're already dead." And when they read that, they're usually super afraid. They're like, "Holy shit!" They start panicking.
Yeah.
And then he has this whole ritual of just watching them panic and be fearful for a while, and then he opens the door. He wears his full hunting gear. He has his gun, and then he tells them to run. And then he just shoots them in the back or whatever. He plays this game with them, and he needs that ritual.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, he shot the girl in the eyeball.
Yeah, and then in the fifth episode.
So the show's what the show does with these serial killers is like each one of them has a ritual that they need to go through before the kill. Right? Mm-hmm. Trinity had like steps to his killing ritual. Mm-hmm. Dexter has his kill room ritual that he sets up. He takes a little blood drop.
Yeah.
So this was his ritual. We got introduced to it. And then that's episode 4. Now we jump into episode 5. Harrison's like the hero of the town. And Dexter kind of confronts him. He's like, he shows him that he found his straight razor. He's like, "You need to see a therapist." A lot of other stuff is happening in the background as well. The officer went to New York for a conference, and an episode.
Oh, I thought that was important because she went to the conference, and then Angel was there from the old Dexter.
Yeah.
And,
so Angel makes a surprise.
You're like kind of thinking like, oh, is he gonna like show Dexter or mention Dexter like on one of the slides, and then she sees it. Like I was just waiting for that. Like
yeah, so he talks about the Bay Harbor butcher, and then like she talks with him later. But before that, because it's jumping back and forth, Harrison went to a party where he overdoses. But before he does, he tells the girl, he's like, Jim, what I think his name is?
Jim Lindsay.
Jim Lindsay. He's
Jim
like,
Lindsay,
it's not
yeah.
even his
The
real
girl,
name.
the girl is by the girl he means like the officer's daughter.
Yeah.
So that's kind of important.
So he tells her, like, hey, he's not even Jim. And then she's like, "Oh, that's weird." And then he passes out. He ODs, and then she calls the cop. He comes, and then him and Dexter have a little spat. Then we jump back to.
Just want to say, shout out to Logan, that cop in this episode, in episode 5.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Dude's like the best cop of the world.
Yeah,
which is great since it's like such a little town. And you think, oh, it's a bunch of guys. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're all a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
And then this Logan guy's like everywhere. He's handling everything. His boss is out of town, and he's got it on lock. I'm like, good shit, Logan.
And then Dexter's
I like how when Dexter's like about to hit the dude with that needle, and then he's like, "Fuck, plan B," and he's just like,
"Stay away from my son!
Stay away from my son!" Yeah, I thought that was so like quick thinking is so cool, so funny. I was like, "Okay, Dexter," and then like you're saying, like the way the sheriff handled it is just like, just go follow us to the station, and then we could just have you home by lunch.
Well, even later. Well, that's not we get to it, but like later. Logan comes back again. Dexter.
Yeah, I was just about to get that. Like when Dexter's in, he sets up. He goes after the guy making the pills. He sets up a whole kill room, and then Logan shows up, and then he's like shit. So he like knocks the guy out. No, he doesn't knock him out. He brings like his supply of like fentanyl, I think, and then he makes it like sniff it so he can overdose, and then he like sets up like a scene where he overdoses in a chair, like cleans up the kill room, and he's gone before the SWAT enters. And yeah, so then we jump back to Batista talking to the cop. He's like, "Oh right, there was this like great detective Deborah Morgan. She ended up dying. Her and her brother. He left a cute kid behind. Oh, what was his name?" He's like, I forgot. He walks away, and then like 2 seconds later, he's like, "Oh, Harrison."
I just want to point something out. Batista considered Dexter his best friend.
Yeah.
In the original series,
but it's been 10 years.
I don't care. I'm going to prove my point. So he considers him one of his.
Wasn't it like
his best
15
friend.
or something?
It's been 10. So he considers Dexter one of his best friends. It's like a brother to him. Anything that happened like with Harrison, like Batista was there. If Harrison like had a birthday, Batista was there. Stuff like that. Also, how many children do you know that are named Harrison?
Harrison Ford. He's not a child.
He ain't a child. He's the complete opposite. It's a very hard to forget name because it's so unusual. How do you just forget the name Harrison? The name of what you considered your best friend who died, who was also brother to one of your co-workers who you consider this amazing cop that solved one of the biggest cases ever, the Trinity case, and you forget Harrison? Come on, Batista. You're getting too old. That hat's too tight.
Yeah, the hat's But then she's like,
Miami Air.
What, Harrison? Mm-hmm. And then she comes home. She finds out that the son who killed the white deer didn't actually go to the hotel. It was someone else.
Matt, yeah.
And she comes back. Her daughter tells her what Harrison said, and she's like, "Oh, something's fishy here." And then you see her printing.
It in her gut.
Yeah, and then you see her printing the obituary for Dexter Morgan. Did I miss anything for episode 5?
I like how she gets paranoid. Like, there's only one Harrison in the world.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
It's like, got to be my Harrison.
It's such an unusual name. It's like she's a cop. She goes off her gut very much, which they imply throughout this episode. And Batista even says, "Remember, go with your gut." And she got a gut feeling right there. Yeah, she took his advice, and look, she got something out of it.
So now Dexter's made.
So happy. You don't know how bad I want Dexter to get caught.
I'm surprised they did it like so soon. What is it, like 3?
We're episode
4
5.
episodes?
This is 5. We're like halfway there, man.
Okay,
halfway?
Okay.
I'd say we got like 3 episodes left.
Is it 8 episodes?
Usually 10 or 8?
It's usually 10.
Yeah, okay.
I would say 10.
Yeah, for Dexter,
I don't know how the
it was
old
10.
seasons were. 10?
I'm pretty sure it was 10 every season.
All right, so we got 5 more to go.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to do 10 this one, but yeah, more or less, even if it's 8, we're still kind of halfway.
Yeah,
but
we're over the hump.
Yeah, so it's just every season of Dexter before this, there was always a point where, oh shit, Dexter's gonna get caught. So that's when the show always turns up a little bit.
Yeah,
and we're in it now finally. So it's like, okay, Dexter's in some shit. He needs to find a way out of it. And like I said, how I hope this is it. This is the last show. I hope this is the one where it's just like he can't do it, and it's not this big Miami Metro Police Department that takes him down. No, it's this stupid little fucking town whose name I can't even remember. They're the ones who take down the true Bay Harbor Butcher, the greatest. I'm sorry, not greatest, but one of the most threatening serial killers in history.
I wouldn't say threatening. He only threatened other serial killers. Or
he has the highest kill count there is, probably, at this point. So it's like the fact that he was taken down by this little ass town. Oh my god, I want that to happen so bad.
But yeah, so I think what's gonna happen. I think Clancy Brown also picked his next victim in Harrison. Right? He usually picks girls, but I don't know. I think he might go for Harrison.
It was suspicious.
He might just because of what
he's
happened with the
leaving
girl.
town.
Yeah, because she broke his.
She screwed up his ritual, so he might need to be like, all right, she screwed up the ritual. I need to get something else done quick. This is the next best thing. Let me go after Harrison. Like, that's the only reason.
And it made sense because he said that he's leaving town, so it's like nobody's going to be, expecting him.
The thing is, he's leaving town, which makes him what? A runaway.
Exactly.
The name of the episode, the name of the song that like gets him off and gets him like all excited. Runaway.
Yeah.
So now that is Harrison, but who knows? Maybe he does think of Harrison.
I'm thinking
in a different light.
I mean, other than killing a shit ton of girls, like, how is Dexter gonna, like, figure out it's him? Because he has his own problems right now, right? Of him getting caught, and Clancy's not. He kind of, like, he very lightly, like, suspects something of him because he's like, why are you so happy that your son's dead, but you're faking it, so what's going on? But he's not fully there yet to be like, oh, so you're the runaway killer.
What I think is gonna happen is. Right now, Dexter's in the whole I want to be a good dad mode, right?
Yeah.
So he's doing his best to make Harrison look up to him. And at the end of this episode, Harrison kind of lied when he about the whole seeing the therapist. Yeah. Dexter's going to find out. And he's like, where did you go? Oh, you saw this dude. Oh, you like this dude. Oh, he's kind of a father figure, but I'm your dad. I'm the good dad. And then he's going to start getting pissed off at this other guy who's like, he doesn't even care about his son. His son's dead, and look at him. And that's how he's going to find out.
Oh, okay.
I want to see some irony. I want to see like how Dexter killed the runaway killer's son. I want to see like him take Harrison and maybe like Dexter finds out and has to chase him, find him, and then he ends up killing Harrison in like some sort of like grand irony.
It could be a number of things.
Yeah, I don't think Harrison's gonna get killed by Clancy. Because Harrison, again, foreshadowed or highly, like, what was the word? What was the other one we used? Suggested that he might have the Dark Passenger. So, if anything, he'll be able to handle himself with Clancy Brown unless he gets, like, drugged.
What if Clancy Brown trains him?
That would be interesting if he notices a Dark Passenger in him also.
He's like, oh, you're like me. Let me train you. And then Dexter's like, what the fuck?
Oh. Yeah. He teaches Harrison his code.
Yeah.
And then, instead of getting
Dexter's
code.
Do you think Dexter is going to have to put Harrison down?
That
would be crazy.
Dude, perfect scenario for me. They all die. End the series.
Yeah, that could work too. It would be crazy, though, if he has to put Harrison down. And then because he had to do that, he gives up, and then he kind of just like turns himself in.
I have a question for you. What are the chances Batista shows up and Dexter has to kill him?
I don't know. Why would they do that?
Batista is a
But
fan
why would
of
Batista
this
kill
woman.
him? Does Batista know he's the Bay Harbor Butcher?
No. He has to kill Dexter. Dexter has to kill Batista. Because he doesn't want Batista. He doesn't want his secret out
to keep his identity.
Yeah,
but the cop already found out. She's probably gonna like.
She's gonna confront him, obviously.
Yeah.
But what if there's something where it's like Batista could, but Batista's not gonna just be like, oh, okay, like whatever. Remember what I said? He's his former best friend. He cared about him. All this other stuff. He's gonna be like, all right, first of all, you faked your own death. That's not okay. Also, all of us are still over
Do
here.
you
What the
think
fuck?
she's gonna confront them, or do you think she's gonna?
She's
try to
100% confronting him.
Oh yeah. She's gonna
100%
Wouldn't try to
confronting him.
catch him in the act. Try to catch him in some sort of.
But
I
she
mean,
doesn't know
what's he gonna
anything.
do?
She doesn't know he's his killer yet. So
Exactly. In
all
her
she's gonna
mind,
do
he's
be
just
like,
some
"Why
guy who
you
faked his
lying?"
own death.
Yeah. Like why are you lying, bro?
Yeah, that's that. She's gonna confront him, and be like, "What the fuck? You lied. You have this son. What else haven't you told me?"
Yeah.
And that might be
and
a
then
thing
I think
where
she's gonna start digging into his a little bit more into his.
and anytime
actions.
he's doing something that he's not supposed to be doing, she's gonna be looking into it. It's like, "Hey, I thought you said you were gonna do this today."
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a serial killer."
I don't know. I think
But,
he just should have just told Harrison sooner
I don't think so.
about his dark past.
You can't just let that out. I mean, because what if he doesn't have a passenger? I mean, well, now you know, but I mean,
I
pretty much know.
I kind of.
No,
hope
I
he
meant
doesn't.
after Harrison did what he did. I think he should have just been like, "Listen, this is why I've been a shitty father. I'm a serial killer, so I left so I don't fuck you up after what happened to your mom. Like, but since you're already fucked up, let me teach you what was taught to me."
Yeah, but you. How's a normal person going to react to that?
But then he also has
Harrison
like
ain't normal.
Deborah.
You're right.
in
Harrison
his
ain't normal.
mind-
Harrison ain't normal, but
Deborah
like you
in his
keep on
mind's
saying,
talking all like
yeah,
devil's advocate, like telling him like, "Oh, you're gonna just ruin him." All this, you know.
That's
That's pretty much his inner psyche. Like he's doubting himself. So I mean, Deborah, you know, with all that, it really is just clouding him, and not clouding him, but like preventing him from make like a solid judgment.
Yeah.
One thing though is like we keep talking about how it's implied that Dexter has a dark Harrison has a dark passenger. Devil's advocate, he doesn't. Dexter saw the blood, he saw the cut, he saw the straight razor and all this other stuff. He's wrong. I know it's impossible to think that, oh my god, Dexter's wrong. He hasn't done this in a long time. He's paranoid because he killed somebody for the first time in like 10 years. He ain't thinking right. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. So maybe
I think you're reading too much into how you want it to go.
He saw what he wanted to see.
What's that? I didn't hear what you said. What's that?
He saw what he wanted to see.
That's what I'm
I thought
thinking.
you were talking about
That's
that
what I'm thinking. And like, let's say that's what happens, and then he goes to Harrison. He's like, "Hey, I know that you're like me," and then Harrison's like, "No, I'm not. Like, you're an insane person."
No, but it can't be though because the blade doesn't match the slice wound.
Okay, maybe he didn't
So-
use that. Maybe it was something else that was used that would have made a similar
Then why
cut.
would he lie to the cops about all that?
I'm sorry, what?
Then why would Harrison lie to the cops and all that stuff?
Lie about what? He told the truth. The kid came
No,
at him, he
Dan's
defended
saying
himself
he
and killed
told
him.
the truth, and Dexter thinks he's lying because that's what he wants to happen. And I think you're reading too much into how
I'm
you
thinking
want
it's
it to go.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I want it to go, obviously. But I'm saying that is a possibility. That's why I'm just
You're
playing
saying
devil's
he
advocate.
told the truth, but he's clearly not telling the truth because like Dexter found out the blade.
But what I'm
Again,
saying
he's
is
all
Dexter
that
is
the
wrong.
injury-
fictional in
What I'm
Dexter's
saying
head.
is Dexter is wrong. Dexter wants to believe that, and he's wrong.
So
I
so
see.
the way he
So you're
sees
saying
the
you
blood
can't
is
trust-
to prove his.
You can't trust like the narrator.
The what?
The narrator, which is like Dexter, not narrator, but
Well,
like
no, it's,
Dexter. You can't
Dexter
trust
is
his-
just like he's
can't
reading
trust his
into
point
it,
of view.
hoping that Harrison is like
Yeah.
him, and he's thinking into it too much. That's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, that might not be it, but it's like I could see a possibility. Definitely that being the case, like where it's just like he wants to train. Like, let's say that happens. He wants to train Harrison because he's like, hey, Harrison's like me. I want to teach him the code. Then let's say Clancy Brown's like, oh, I like Harrison. I want to teach him. And then at the end of the episode, Harrison's like, I'm just a fucking kid. Like, what is wrong? You're a bunch of serial killers that leave this town. You know, like, so it's like I could
Yeah,
see.
man,
There's
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of alternates.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, I still don't see Harrison with this. I don't see a dark passenger in him. Like, he might have it. Personally, as of right now, I need 100% confirmation.
It could be that it's not fully there, and there's a tipping point that he needs to pass for it to be fully there, and maybe that's what Deborah is trying to like stop. Because I think Dexter made his first kill, and then Harrison taught the code, but then once he saw Dexter actually pull it off, that's when he kind of just like died, right?
I'm sorry, what are you saying?
Talking about Harry.
Harry, okay.
In the first season, or when in flashbacks, when after he taught Dexter the code because he knew he was fucked up, and then Dexter carried out the code, and Harry actually saw him like either kill or dismember somebody.
Well, yeah, the first time Harry found out that Dexter killed someone, Harry couldn't take it anymore and killed himself.
Yeah. Even though he followed.
He taught
Harry's
Dexter the code, but he in his mind he was like, I could never picture him actually doing it. So when Dexter finally did do it, he was just like, I was wrong. I created a monster. I fucked up, and I'm done. And he killed himself.
So I think that's where Deborah's coming from. She's like, don't do this because it might push him over the edge and make him exactly like you. Just like, let him be.
Well, and that's how Dexter's going to think,
I feel
too.
like they're definitely definitely leaning towards him having it because like even before the incident, he's like when his interaction with the kid was like he drew him like killing those other kids, which like clearly that's not like normal behavior. Any other normal kid, I feel like would have reported that or been like, "Oh, this kid's doing this," or he was just totally. Harrison was totally okay with it, and I think he took advantage of that craziness.
He just smiled.
He took advantage of that craziness, and then created that incident, and then. So I mean, I do feel like he has like. Well, I mean, they don't like explicitly say it, but I feel like they're leaning so hard into him.
I mean,
having
yes,
his own.
but I feel like they're leaning that way to make people think that way. Like,
but I think
I could see a big twist
with a big
coming
surprise.
easily.
But there's one difference, right? Dexter kills because he needs to kill. Harrison did this to be almost accepted and be worshipped.
No.
And
Harrison
like,
did this.
I feel like he did it out of curiosity.
No. What they're trying to imply is that Harrison did this because one, he was sort of curious, but he got pissed off and he had the flashback when he was listening to the podcast, saw his mom, saw Trinity, and then he was just like, "Fuck this! I need to kill." Like that's what they're trying to imply. And like Danny was saying, yes, he was curious because he used supposedly the same weapon that Trinity used.
I think maybe.
Because I don't think at any point he was just like, I want to be the hero. I don't think that was it at all.
I think he got pissed off from the podcast, but I don't think he was like, all right, I want to kill. Because if he wanted to kill the kid, he would have killed the kid. Right? He would have made it a bigger, like, fight scene and actually killed him in self-defense and stabbed himself and whatever. But I think he saw a chance for him to be like, all right, how do I get accepted quickly? I made a friend of this guy, right? I got accepted with the douchebags, but I don't like him. I like this kid, but then he's fucked up. I don't like that he's trying to hurt people, so I'm gonna hurt him. But
does Harrison seem like he wants to be accepted?
I think so.
Doesn't look that way to me.
I think so. He went to the party. He made a grand speech about being a hero, and then he's like, he's trying to play it off. He's trying to be super
because
humble.
he didn't want to be with his dad. He wanted to get the fuck out of there and go anywhere else. And
exactly.
Fuck around. That's what
I feel
it was.
like exactly like a kid would do. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go out and get drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, where do you do that at a party? And he was just he couldn't handle his liquor, and that's when he like just started.
No, well, he's taking
that.
pills.
Dexter's a nut.
But
and oxy.
In the gym,
but he was already drunk before the pill. Like fucking.
In the gym scene. Like the way he gave the speech and stuff, and I don't know. I felt like he was just like he has a little bit of a hero complex.
I think he
it
was
was
being
a
a
nice,
regular kid, and he was just speaking the truth.
I think it was oh shit. I think it was a nice side effect, but I don't think he necessarily needs it. Because like if he really needed it, he wouldn't have like just ran away from his attention. Where like at the end of the episode, he was just trying to leave everything. Like anybody that needs that
He's
attention,
trying to leave everything because Dexter
stay
found
with the
him
people,
out.
Stay where the attention is.
If he did do it, then it's like Dexter found him out, and then he's like, all right, well, I don't need this. I'll just go somewhere else and do it. But you know what I mean. So I don't know. There's a lot of theories. We'll find out next week when the story.
It's a good show.
More.
It has us thinking this hard.
Yes,
it's a good show.
Yeah. It's definitely.
It's definitely
like,
a lot of fun.
Harrison is this.
This is like.